have about 40 pounds of gear on my back. The goal is to build a survival shelter and spend the night in the dead of winter. We have no tent and fire is going to be the only way we can make it through the night. We just spent a couple hours hiking up here. We were scouting for a spot. We really like the look of this tree. I think we'll be able to build a lean-to. I don't think it'll fall on us. I brought Parker out with me today because we want to build a really cool shelter and it's gonna take some manpower or woman power. We got pretty sweaty on the way up, but we do have sweat wicking layers as our base layer, which is really important because as soon as you get wet, you get cold once you stop moving. Kiro has a fleece layer and a winter parka. He gets cold as soon as he stops moving. Layer 1. Yeah, he loves his jackets. And the second jacket. This is the best saw. The first job I'm going to do is scavenge for some wood that's already down right around the area where I've built a cot before. And so I want to see if I can repurpose any of that dry wood that I already cut a few weeks back. And here it is. This was my first attempt at a bushcraft shelter and it worked great. The ground makes you really cold, so you want to be elevated off the ground if you don't have a sleeping pad. These logs are going to save us a ton of time. Someone commented, I don't understand why you're walking over all this dead tree and cutting wood. And this we can use for the shelter. But if a piece of dead wood has been on the ground in the snow for weeks or even months, it's going to be wet. So you want to get the standing dead trees because the inside of that will be the most dry. This is the first time Parker's seeing my cot. I asked him to come see, but really I just wanted help carrying this wood. Oh yeah, it's frozen. A single mom who works so hard. Okay, show off. Oh, pine beetles got this one too. Oh yeah, it already feels like home. Dropping just below freezing right now. We're sitting at about 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, I'll go get more.
I'm gonna start clearing out this area around the tree. I started chopping this wood a little bit. It almost looks like fat wood. You can tell because it's a bit darker in color and it's oily. And you normally find fat wood at the base of a ponderosa pine or any pine. And that's what this is. That could be a big help for starting this fire. So you can see how oily the wood is here. We'll be able to shave that down and it'll start a fire really well. It's just packed with sap and oils and it'll burn for a long time.
Are you cold, buddy? Do you need a place to sleep? Kiro is getting a bit cold, so we're gonna get a nice cozy place for him to sleep. Before we go any further with the shelter build, I'm gonna get a nice warm place set up for Kiro. And this is my trusted wool blanket that I bring on pretty much every winter camping trip now. Oh, he knows. He knows. He came right to it. A little bit of water for Kiro. Oh my, smells more like forest than the forest. This is hige. Opera challenged me to show what a hige desk means to me. So I thought I would show you a little bit behind the scenes of the planning that goes into these types of videos and builds. Hige is a Scandinavian lifestyle. It is comfort and a feeling of content. Being cozy, a warm tea while working, that's also hige. This is not hige. Do you get what I mean by hige now? The Opera browsing system is designed to bring this into this. It's a unique and reliable browsing experience that you can customize to bring hige into your online world. I like to set my theme to calming so I can focus on my work. Before coming out here, I used Opera's tab islands to organize my research. With tab islands, everything stays organized and distraction-free, simple, and hige. Opera is sending a few lucky winners on a 6-day retreat at one of their 10 hige desk days across Norway. If you want to experience that type of coziness, then I've linked it in the description and you can apply to win. All right, break's over. Time to make this shelter hige. This is one of my favorite parts, starting the fire. A wind is really coming in, so we got to get this fire going. We've got about 5 hours until the sun goes down. So we're using dry grass that we found, cleared the snow away. I'm gonna cheat a little bit and use my favorite fire starter and that is cotton balls soaked in petroleum jelly. If you pull apart the fibers, it burns longer. I'm gonna use the fat wood that Parker collected. Oh, you wanna see how it's done? Get out, no, don't mess up my fires. Get out of here. Oh, I'm on his bed actually. And my favorite way to start it with a ferro rod. So you do log cabin style so that it can still get oxygen. This shelter's too big, I think. Like, I feel like this is gonna be the warm spot and we want the fire to be at the opening, right? Like, this is so big of an opening.
Well, Madison's starting the fire. I'm gonna get some bigger logs going.
I love hearing you vlog.
That makes one of us. This is the way I cut wood to make life easy. You want to set your log up nicely so that it doesn't pinch your blade. So I cut this little chunk off. And as I'm going, I just move that down and keep cutting so that my log's always off the ground.
Temperatures are dropping. Gotta put the hat on. Your head is one part of your body that loses the most heat if it's not properly insulated. So if you can, avoid a cotton toque, because if you do start sweating or it gets wet from the snow, then it won't dry and it won't keep you as warm. So this is wool and then the inside is fleece lined. Oh, there's little red, it's moving!
It's dinner. Anyone knows what this little red worm is that was in that tree? Let us know.
Can we eat it? Is it an inchworm? Oh, it's gotta be a record for me. This isn't more efficient. That's better. If you guys have watched any of my recent videos, you know I love trees that have the burned roots and you can just push them right over. Actually, this might not be one of them, but let's see. Nope, that's not one of them. You definitely wouldn't want to camp under this type of tree though, because although I can't just push over it, one big windstorm and it could land on you in the middle of the night. That's a good one. So the standing deadwood is important so that you can get dry wood for firewood, but for the shelter, a lot of these logs we can pick up off the ground and see what we can use. That one's too heavy to move and it's frozen solid. Let's see what else we got. What I've learned to love about building things in general is you can just make something out of nothing. With your own imagination, you can just look at what resources you have and build something that can keep you alive. It's really fascinating. So we realized that's too much air above us. It's too tall. We need to be as close to the bottom as possible. So we're gonna clear out all this snow and try and make a little home under there. My nose won't stop running. Ugh. Bark is a good roof. It's shingles. We've got mold in our house. Could be a type of fungus probably, but get it out of here. Let's test it. Fire would be right here. Oh, this has spider webs on it. Wait, I don't want to lay in the mold. I'll protect you from the wind.
Thank you.
I think we need to enclose both sides. Like the length that you just laid, I need the same length. Mine is 2 feet. We have a long ways to go.
Okay, Kiro, back to work. You lazy butt.
We need a layer of insulation, and we're gonna just pick off a few pine branches. These trees are obviously still alive, so we don't want to kill them, but we're just gonna take a few branches here and there. This bird is driving Kiro nuts. Oh, there it is. It's kind of neat how he's walking up and down this tree trunk. I feel like you don't often see that. We need to fill the gap at the foot of this tree. So I've just started stacking logs on top of each other. I think that's a little bit of a quicker way. It's gonna get clumpier ones and leave their branches on, and then we can cover it with our insulation. This side is looking great. There's still a few holes we have to fill. Parker's taller, so he can reach the branches a lot easier than I can. We have majority of the shelter built, but now we have to move our fires so that we get the optimal amount of heat coming into our cave. We also want the shelter to block the wind and so that the smoke doesn't come into our shelter. So the wind's coming from that way. If we put it angled here, we should be good. I'm up. It's expected to drop to -10 tonight, -10 Celsius. So we're having beef pot roast for dinner tonight, and we're going to try for the very first time fresh bread made from a Ziploc bag. Very excited about this, but also worried that we might not have bread for dinner. So I've put 2 cups of flour in here, a little bit of salt, sugar, and then I need to add yeast. I don't know if this is the right yeast, so I just got some packets of it instead of a big tub. Oh, it's getting chilly and the sun is going down. Okay, Parker just told Parker's made pizza at home before. Active dry yeast. Yeah, you have to mix it with warm water at home and then put it in. You have to knead, and then we have to put it by the fire so that it doesn't freeze. I think he likes it. The smoke is not going in there, so that's a win for us. Looks fantastic. Kiro ate his food a little while ago, and I went to just go check on his water. It's frozen. Oh, it's now officially below 0. It's dropped to -2, which is about the high 20s in Fahrenheit. So we've got the bread. I honestly should have done this probably about 2 hours ago. Trying to get that warmed up. I finally have, this is untouched. This is the most clean this pot will ever be. I'm so excited. I can put this directly in the fire. There's no silicone, it's just straight stainless steel. I finally feel like a true bushcraft camper. Fire Maple was kind enough to give this to me, so thank you to them. And the main course tonight is a beef pot roast. We love this. It's already made. Oh, geez. It's already vacuum sealed, so we're just gonna boil some water and then put the roast directly in there in the plastic. We've got the -18 Celsius bags, and we gotta fluff them up so that the insulation is ready for us. And so, where's my zipper? This is Hige. Okay, it's 2 degrees warmer in here. I'll take it. The key is the wind. The wind makes it so much colder. I should have started the bread a long time ago. If anyone does this at home, put the water all the way to the top so that it...
If anyone does this at home, put it in your oven.
We were trying to avoid having dishes, but it's pulling apart. Oh, that looks good. So I didn't start the bread fermentation soon enough. This is what we're working with. Honestly, I'm just gonna put this back in my backpack and eat this tomorrow because it needs more time. It needs a few more hours. I did bring a backup just in case, so we're putting a few of these on the fire. Dang, that's good. After dinner, it's about time to crawl into our cave. Don't worry, Kyo, you're getting some. Oh. Doesn't even let it hit the plate. All right, it's about -5 Celsius, 25 Fahrenheit. It's +2 in the back of the cave. I just pulled this out from there.
In the morning.
How did I end up with a girl that likes to sleep under a tree? Good morning from under the tree. We did it. How'd you sleep?
I slept. It was cold, but the fire kept us warm until about 2 in the morning.
Yeah. Kiro already ran out of the shelter. Come here, honey. I kept my water bottle in my sleeping bag so that it wouldn't freeze and boiled it before nighttime. So we have water for coffee. And just outside the tent, oh, there's a little bit of water in there, but it's basically all ice. All right, you ready for some coffee?
I'm ready for some coffee.
Let's get this fire started. I ended up having to retreat pretty deep into the shelter so that these beams were ahead of me. Because of our opening, the wind was going crazy last night. The skeleton with the pine needles, it wouldn't be rainproof. There's definitely holes, but it was snowproof. In the shelter, I I wore my insulated booties, which kept my feet so warm. This, you can see it's rotten, but these little marks here show where the beetle has burrowed in and killed this tree. But we're still gonna chop it up. Kiro has been laying over here for far too long. Oh, what are you chewing on? What is that? That is a hip. Kiro, leave it. Come on, let's go back. Sorry, bud. I don't know if that thing has diseases. Footprints through here. There's definitely a lot of deer activity. Got some vanilla style latte. Oh, this is gonna be good. That's gonna like this food, right? Yeah. That's good. I feel like I'm at Tim Hortons. Oh, I'm really sad to leave this shelter, but we're gonna pack up the rest of our stuff and head down. We have a few kilometers out of here. We're gonna get some breakfast. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.